10 things you do that throw your workout in the trash. Stay tuned until the end because this will not be one of those cliched videos talking about the same old habits like having a bad night's sleep or drinking too much alcohol. Error number 6 is the most common of all. Before we begin, please leave in the comments your name and the city from which you are watching our content. Habit number 10, skipping the warm-up. I know it's boring, but believe me, the warm-up is a fundamental stage of any exercise routine, as it prepares the body and mind for the intense physical activity that will follow. By ignoring the warm-up, the body loses the opportunity to gradually increase muscle temperature, heart rate, and blood circulation, which can raise the risk of muscle, joint, and tendon injuries. This happens because, without an adequate warm-up, muscles and ligaments become less flexible and more susceptible to being stretched beyond their natural limits. From a performance standpoint, omitting the warm-up can result in a drop in workout effectiveness, since cold muscles tend to respond more slowly to stimuli and may not be able to generate the same force and power as after an appropriate warm-up. And remember, no warming up on the treadmill. Begin with an exercise that is already part of your routine, but with less load, so you will truly be preparing the target muscle for the workout. Number 9. Sitting for long periods throughout the day. Nowadays, it's common to spend a lot of time seated, whether working, watching television, or scrolling on your phone. At first, it seems harmless. After all, we all need to rest at some point. The problem is that sitting for long periods can have a profound negative impact on your gym gains. When you sit for hours, blood circulation throughout the body decreases, especially in the legs and lower back. That means less oxygen and fewer nutrients reach the muscles, which begin to stiffen and become less prepared for physical effort. This stiffness not only impairs your mobility during workouts, but also can increase the risk of injuries, since the muscles are not ready to be stretched and contracted optimally. A real study published in the American Journal of Preventive Medicine analyzed the effects of prolonged sitting in more than 10,000 adults. The researchers found that those who spent more than 8 hours per day seated had a significant reduction in strength and muscle mass gains, even if they exercised regularly. The numbers don't lie. The study showed that these people had a 50% greater likelihood of developing muscle loss compared to those who moved more throughout the day. This means that no matter how hard you train, if you spend the rest of the day seated, you will be undermining the benefits of your effort. Number 8. Going to train hungry without planning. Some people choose to train on an empty stomach, believing it may help burn more fat, or simply because they did not have time to eat in the busyness of the day. But it's important to make a distinction here. Fasting is not the same as training hungry. Fasting can be used strategically, especially in light and planned sessions like morning fasted cardio during body cutting phases. However, this needs to be done with supervision and awareness. The problem arises when someone trains hungry without planning, without energy substrate available, and without having supplied the body with the nutrients needed to support the activity. When this happens, the body doesn't have enough energy to maintain good performance. Muscles primarily need carbohydrates as fuel, and without them, you start the workout at a disadvantage. Less strength, less endurance, and a greater feeling of fatigue from the very first sets. Furthermore, in situations like intense sessions without proper pre-workout nutrition, the body may resort to using amino acids from muscle tissue as an energy source. This means that instead of preserving and building muscle, you may end up breaking down muscle tissue, especially if this practice is frequent. Training hungry also harms concentration and focus. Your mind becomes scattered, motivation disappears, and performance plummets. You might start the session enthusiastic, but soon you feel tired, disconnected, and without the energy to continue. Number 7. Overdoing cardio. When you spend too much time on the treadmill, bike, or doing any other form of cardiovascular exercise, the body begins to enter a catabolic state, meaning it starts burning muscle instead of fat for energy. This is the opposite of what you want when trying to build muscle mass. In addition, excessive cardio can drain your energy reserves, leaving you without the drive to tackle the strength workout with the necessary intensity. Imagine entering the weight room already tired, without the gas to lift heavy loads or to push through that final set that really makes the difference. The body needs balance. Cardio is important for cardiovascular health, for helping burn fat and improving endurance. But when done to excess, it starts to compete with strength training, impairing muscle gain and making it harder to achieve that strong, defined physique you desire. Think of it as if the body had a daily energy budget. If you spend all that energy on cardio, there won't be enough left for strength training, which is crucial for muscle growth. Before we continue to error number 6, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Having constant access to correct, science-based information is what will make you progress in the long run in the world of bodybuilding. Number 6, skipping workouts you don't like. It's quite common to hear men mention that they decided to skip leg day during the week. After all, who really enjoys the feeling of nausea or the impression that they're going to pass out during that intense session? It seems more convenient to focus on muscle groups that are more pleasant to train, like the chest or arms, where results appear faster and more visibly, attracting more attention. But what you may not realize is that by neglecting sessions like leg day, you are sabotaging not only your body's development, but also your overall health. When you skip important muscle groups, like the legs, you create imbalances that can affect your entire body. What does this mean? Imagine a building being constructed but the foundation is neglected. Eventually, the whole structure starts to collapse. Similarly, when you avoid workouts you dislike, you are weakening your body's foundation. The legs are the foundation of your body. They support all the weight, allow you to walk, run, and perform almost any movement. Ignoring leg workouts, or any other important muscle group, is like building a body with a fragile foundation. This not only increases the risk of injuries, but also prevents you from reaching your true potential. Another reason. Did you know that leg training, although exhausting, is one of the workouts that most stimulates testosterone production? In other words, by skipping that leg session you dread, you are depriving your body of the stimulus needed to produce more testosterone. When you train the legs, compound exercises like squats and deadlifts activate large muscle groups simultaneously, triggering a powerful hormonal response. This not only strengthens the legs, but also contributes to the development of other areas of the body. Number 5, lack of adequate rest between sets. Imagine you're in the gym, focused on each repetition, feeling the muscles burn with every effort. You finish a set, and that clock in your head starts ticking. 30 seconds, 40 seconds, 1 minute. And then that anxiety kicks in, and you want to jump back on the weight, believing that the less rest you take, the faster you will achieve your goals. A few years ago, I trained with a friend. We did the first set, and in less than a minute, she was already doing another. When I asked why she chose to rest so little, the answer came quickly. That way, I feel the muscle burn more. The truth is that when you give your body less than a minute of rest between sets, it may seem like you're doing a good job because you feel the burn. However, this burning sensation is not synonymous with hypertrophy. In fact, what you're doing is overloading the muscle before it has time to fully recover. This means that in the next set, you won't be able to lift as much weight or do as many repetitions as you could if you had given the muscle more time to recover. And it's precisely this adequate rest that allows the muscle to replenish its energy reserves and be ready to be challenged again. Now, if you really want to maximize muscle gain, know that waiting 3 to 4 minutes between sets is not only acceptable, but may be exactly what you need. This rest time gives the muscle the chance to recombine, allowing you to give your all in the next set. This is especially important for naturals, since the body needs more time to recover between sets, because it doesn't have the extra help that those using hormones have to accelerate recovery and protein synthesis. Of course, if you have limited time to train, it's better to rest little than not to train at all. But know that better rest means a better workout. Number 4, lifting more weight than you can handle to try to impress. Lifting excessively heavy weights may seem like a way to impress others in the gym, but in reality, you're only harming yourself. Remember that people are focused on their own workouts and aren't paying attention to you as you imagine. First of all, when you lift excessively heavy weights, your form usually suffers. This significantly increases the risk of injuries, as muscles and joints can be overloaded disproportionately. Studies show that improper weightlifting technique considerably raises the risk of musculoskeletal injuries. Additionally, lifting weights beyond your capability can overload your central nervous system and cause extreme fatigue. Muscles require time to adapt and grow in response to resistance training stimulus. Attempting to accelerate this process by lifting weights far beyond your capacity can result in inadequate recovery and progress stagnation. Another important point is that lifting more weight than you can control can negatively impact your confidence and motivation. If you get injured as a consequence, you're likely to start fearing continued training and loading up. Number 3. Not calculating macronutrients. Athletes, those who truly achieve their goals, know that nutrition is as important as the workout itself. They weigh every food they put on their plate, not because they're obsessed, but because they understand that every gram counts. When you weigh your food, you know exactly how many calories, proteins, carbohydrates, and fats you're consuming. This is crucial because each of these macronutrients plays a specific role in your body. Proteins help with muscle repair and growth. Carbohydrates provide the necessary energy for workouts and daily activities. And fats are essential for hormonal function and vitamin absorption. Without knowing the exact amount you're ingesting of each, you're basically playing with luck, unsure if you're properly fueling your body to achieve your goals. Now imagine this scenario. You're trying to gain muscle mass, but without calculating macronutrients, you end up consuming less protein than your body needs. As a result, even training hard, your muscles won't have the building blocks needed to grow. Or conversely, you want to lose fat but unknowingly consume more carbohydrates and calories than you should, sabotaging your fat-burning efforts. If you're in a calorie surplus and aiming to gain muscle mass, the ideal is to consume between 0.7 to 1.0 grams of protein per pound of body weight per day. For example, if you weigh 154 pounds, that equates to consuming between 4 and 5.5 ounces of protein per day. Remember that 3.5 ounces of chicken contains approximately 1 ounce of protein, and a normal-sized egg usually has about 0.3 to 0.4 ounces. Regarding fats, it is recommended that approximately 20 to 30% of total daily calories come from fats. The remainder, about 50 to 60% of the total, should come from carbohydrates. The best way to ensure your diet is perfectly tailored to your needs is to consult a nutritionist. A professional can create a personalized meal plan that takes into account all the details of your lifestyle, health, and goals. Number 2. Excessive training volume. When you overdo the number of exercises and training volume, your body starts suffering from excessive stress without having adequate time to recover. Bodybuilding is, by nature, a process of breakdown and buildup. You wear down the muscles during the workout, and with rest and nutrition, they recover and become stronger. If you don't give them this recovery time, the muscles can't rebuild properly, and you begin to enter an overtraining cycle where fatigue accumulates, performance drops, and the gains you expect simply don't happen. Furthermore, excessive volume can lead to a decrease in the intensity of each exercise. By attempting too many exercises, you can't put the necessary energy into each, which means the stimulus for muscle growth becomes less effective. In the end, you find yourself spending more time in the gym but without seeing the return that justifies that effort, trashing your precious time and money. A real study published in the Journal of Applied Physiology examined the relationship between training volume and muscle gains. The researchers found that individuals who reduced training volume by 30% and focused on more intense exercises with more rest achieved up to an 18% increase in strength compared to those who maintained higher volumes. These numbers made it clear that training more doesn't mean training better. Number 1. Not drinking enough water while training. As you exert yourself, your body loses water, and if you don't replenish that loss, you're risking all the progress you could achieve. Water is not just a detail, it's the essential fuel for the body's proper functioning during training. When you don't hydrate adequately, your performance drops, your muscles don't receive the necessary nutrients, and your ability to recover and grow is severely compromised. Water is crucial for maintaining blood volume, meaning it is responsible for transporting oxygen and nutrients to the muscles while you train. Without sufficient hydration, the blood becomes thicker, hindering the efficient transport of these nutrients. This leads to a faster feeling of fatigue, decreasing your strength and endurance. Additionally, lack of water can cause cramps and reduce muscular coordination, compromising the quality of your repetitions, and consequently, the stimulus needed for muscle growth. You can imagine the impact. Every set, every repetition loses its maximum potential when the body is dehydrated. A real study published in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research analyzed the effects of dehydration in athletes during resistance training. The results showed that a loss of just 2% of body weight in water was enough to cause a significant drop in muscle strength, reducing the capacity to perform exercises like bench press and squats by up to 19%. This means that without proper hydration, even if you're giving your best, your body simply can't respond adequately, and the gains you could obtain are compromised. Now that you know exactly which mistakes not to make, If you want to understand more about the best exercise for each muscle group in your body, we're showing a video right now where we demonstrate this. Thanks for watching and God bless you, my friend.